Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I want to talk to you about beginning with Seint makeup. I get asked some questions and sometimes I feel like, and I remember when I first started, it was like, I'm not sure what I'm doing. So I want to do this video and help you so you can watch this if you've just gotten your makeup or you're interested in starting to use this makeup. This is going to be the video for you. Okay, so I am Sonia Frame, and I'm what you would call an independent artist for Seint Makeup. I've been doing this, it'll be 2 years in April. I really, really like it. I became an artist because I legit wanted everybody to know about it because I didn't know what I was getting myself into at all. I needed a makeup that had one compact. The idea of having all of my makeup in one palette. This is a palette. You can call it a compact, whatever you want to call it. They come in these, and we have all different sizes depending on the amount of makeup that you want to buy. So this is my go-to. It's the 27. I have 3 layers, and that's what got me to the makeup. I wanted to be able to pick only what I wanted to buy. For years, I had compact after compact after compact that I had so many mainly it was the eyeshadow colors that I would use, all of 1 or 2 colors, and then what was I gonna do with the other ones because I needed to replace. So I would end up having so much waste. So that's what brought me to the makeup. The next thing I found out was color matching. So I wanted the makeup. I was going on a trip to Uganda. I wanted the makeup, and then I was like, okay, so how do I get hooked up with this makeup? Like, I went on the website. Don't go and order your own colors. It's deceiving on the website, and that's what I want to do for you. I want to take the guesswork out for you. That is why I love what I do. I get to color match you. I have color matched probably hundreds of ladies. I love doing color matching. I love studying faces. It's part of serving you to get you what you want, what you're desiring, so you can have this makeup and love what you're doing. So don't go on the website and just color match yourself because there's no reason for it. It doesn't cost you anything. So you can do that. I will put it down. The link will be in my description. You click on it and you fill out my color match form. So this is how you do it. You'll need a no makeup selfie. You can have eye makeup on like I do right now, but I don't have any makeup on my face. I would love to be able to see your neck too. If you have glasses, take those off, shut off any lights. It's even better if you don't have any funky colors on because that can reflect. But I need you to send me a selfie that when you look at it in your phone, you're like, that is what I look like. It represents your true colors. I don't like car pictures, outside pictures, just because they will not represent what I need because I really want you to get the best colors for you. So make sure you have your filters all shut off too. There are some phones that I'm understanding are actually coming with filters on them. So that's a setting that you may have to go in and look at. So that's where we're gonna start with the makeup. You send no makeup selfie for your color match and I will respond to you. It's gonna be maybe a day, maybe 2 at the very, very most. If you don't hear from me, I either didn't get it or it went to your junk. I try to send you a separate email saying your color match is sent, but I had a lady the other day, she never got the first one. I don't know why. So I just resent it and she got it. I don't know, but thank heavens she communicated with me. So always communicate with me if you don't receive my color match response. So when I color match you, what I'm looking at in your face is I like to see your neck and I like to see your face. So the very first thing that I'm going to look at when I look at you is any discoloration, any type of places that are different than your main skin tone, okay? Because we need to correct those areas first. This makeup is very different. It is not, I don't want you to have to put a lot of makeup, a lot of layering, a lighter color, a lot of it all over your face to cover up what is a distraction to you. We do it very differently, and I'm telling you, it works, okay? It will give you, probably depending on how you want to wear your makeup, but it'll give you the most skin-like look that you can get. It's truly, it really, really does. It is, you don't look at yourself and you see makeup unless you want to. If you like a very, not cakey, but if you like a very, very makeup look, you can do that with this makeup. But I personally like to have a second skin glow look to my makeup. So the very first thing that I look at when I look at you is any distraction. And you can write that in the section on my color match that will say to you, will ask you, is there anything that you're concerned about? You may be like, yes, I have this age spot here, or my dark under eyes really bother me, or no, I'm just a real simple person. I just want a really light layer. Whatever it takes, whatever it is that you want to tell me, you can tell me in a section on the color match. But I do need to see your face and all the things. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. So the next thing that we're going to do is you're going to get your response from me, and I will have a very, very detailed explanation. I will put in there your colors. I will go through and describe all the things. I will tell you brush suggestions. And then I will tell you this, the lip and cheek and the eyeshadows, I will give you ideas, and I will tell you the different finishes of our lip and cheek and maybe some eyeshadow basics. If you want a more detailed suggestions than that, I am happy to do it, but it's a little overwhelming sometimes. So I just try to give some real basics, and you can, it's just sometimes such preference anyway. So, but then I go and at the bottom, I give a very detailed explanation of what your colors are, where you apply them, how you apply them, and in what order that I would suggest or I like to do, or where you can start. There's many different applications out there to do. And then I also put in my color match a couple videos for you that will help you. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I read things and I'm like, you know, it just like my mind freezes. But if I see a video, I can start it and stop it, and we can do our makeup together. And then after you get everything and you've done what you're doing, please reach out to me at any point if you need help. That's what I'm here for. I have videos that I put out weekly on Instagram at sonia.jo.framemakeup. And I have a Facebook page that you can go like and follow. It's sonia.jo.frame. Either one of those places, I put different, some of the same, but different things on each one. And then of course I have this YouTube channel. So, okay. So let's say I have color matched you, and now you've gotten your makeup and you're like, now what? Okay. So sometimes if you started very basic, maybe you're going to start with the 4. This is a 4. It holds 4. I didn't know there was eyeshadows in there. It holds 4 of which are large tins, which would be our highlights, our lip and cheeks, and our illuminators and our contours all come in the big tin. Or the eyeshadows, it will hold 8 of the eyeshadows, okay? So if you just started with the very basics, you got maybe your color corrector, your mane, your brightener, and a lip and cheek, you would most likely get this size, okay? I personally work out of the 27, like I said. That's what I have here on my desk daily because I have a lot that I like to pick from. But let's use this one because I am going to put more than just the color corrector and all that. I'm going to put several different things in here. This one is I think it's an 18, and it has 2 levels. I do like the 2 levels. Some of these, this is one of the new releases and Key West, I think is what it might be called. It's just really pretty. It's, but they change them all the time. I did get just a basic black. Let's hope they keep it. A lot of times they don't. Like, here's an older one, no longer. I don't know if they have this one or not. Here's a silver one. These are the older, they say mascara on them. So anyway, regardless, they all have a mirror in the top. So when you're traveling, you don't have to pack a mirror. You can put just what you want for the traveling or anything like that right in here, and you're good to go, okay? All right, so let's say that I've got you color matched. You've gotten your cute little box that you got in the mail. They have all this little crinkle paper, and it's very, very pretty. It's very important that what they send you is really a pretty box for you to open. I think it's great, and I think it's kind of fun to get them and get all your tins out of there. So let's say that I've matched you, and you look at it and you're like, I have 3 highlights. Why? Okay, so it's usually most people don't have all one skin color, all one color to their face. Oftentimes we have more redness, like you can see where I have redness here, a little bit here, a little bit up there. And what happens is, if I would put my main color, which would be here, this is more of my natural color. If I put this on here, I will immediately show texture. I can always tell if I don't have enough color corrector on, I will show immediate texture. But yet I don't want to leave just my color corrector. Okay, so by correcting first and then putting my main over it, I get this perfect shade. It is unlike anything that I've ever had before. It has beautiful coverage, and I can't stress enough how important it is to get exactly what your artist, which I hope is me, has told you to get. So sometimes I think that we will look and we'll be like, why would I need that? You will find that if you're matched correctly, there's a really good reason of why you got 3 colors. It wasn't for a sale. Promise you. If you don't want to brighten, you don't have to brighten. That's fine. Leave that one out. You don't have to brighten. But if you got a color corrector and a main, most likely you need the color corrector and you need the main. I do not have a huge amount of redness. You can see, like, it's just minimal, right? Okay. But if I don't color correct it, it's not going to look right. So, all right, let's start filling our palette. So, and here's the other thing. These tins are $14 a piece. Okay, here's my color corrector. Here's my main. Here's my brightener. These last me, and I do my makeup every single day. There is rarely a day that I don't do my makeup. I'm not kidding. I love doing makeup. Even if I'm just home, I do my makeup. I just do. Even when we were home for all those months, I really did my makeup. It was my happy place. It made me feel good, right? So I will get out of my main shade and my color corrector, because I probably use an even amount of both of them. I would say that I get at least 6 months, probably longer than that, out of them. I do change a little bit in the summer. I go a little warmer and a little bit darker, and then in the winter I will. But for the most part, this is except in the summer, this is my main shade right there. So, okay, so trust me on it. Okay, I will fill my palette now. So when you get your makeup, it comes like this. It comes in this little tin like that. And a little goes a long way. And like I said, it's a cream. You're going to slide it open like that, and you're going to place it in your compact. Okay. This is already one. Obviously, it's kind of ugly. It's not that pretty for this video, but we're just going with it. I just need to melt it down. You can melt these down too to get the most use out of them. So this is my color corrector. I personally like putting it in the order that I use it. So that's my color corrector. Here's my main. And then here is my brightener. Okay. So I like to use it, put it in the order, in the highlights, at least, of the order that I use them. Okay. So the next thing I do when I put it in my compact is I put my bronzer next, because I generally will color correct, put my main, then I will bronze. I could put it before this, but I kind of like keeping my highlights all together. I will give you a bronzer idea or a suggestion that I think that which bronzer would be for you. We just came out with 3 new ones. This particular one is also not very pretty, but it is Bella. It's a very pretty, nice, warm, non-shimmered bronzer. If you want shimmer in it, you just take one of our cream illuminators and you can put it in it and make it shimmered if you'd like. Then I do my contour, because this is the order that I do it in, and I will give you a contour suggestion also. So I include all of this stuff in your color match response, okay? Okay, we got them all in there. Then the next thing I will do is, let me get out, we've got these gorgeous new, these are all the new lip and cheek. So I think I might throw one of those in there, and I think I'm gonna mix a couple. I have Sandstone is one of my very favorites, especially in the fall. I just feel like it's just the prettiest, warmest color. I love it so much. And I've never gone through a lip and cheek, ever. I'm going on 2 years, and I use this Sandstone all the time. So I've never gone through a lip and cheek, and I'm gonna mix. That's a satin. All of our lip and cheek come in 3 different, I call them finishes. I guess what would you call them? Like mixtures, whatever they are called. But they come in 3 different. There's satin, semi-gloss, and gloss. Just like the paint on the wall, it comes in those different finishes. So I like to use the satin or matte most of the time on my cheeks, and then sometimes I will top it with a gloss or semi-gloss, but you can use the semi-glosses. Some of them are more sheer, some of them are more pigmented. If you have any questions about them, I am really happy to swatch absolutely anything, or you can search some of my videos. I have swatched a lot of these for you in videos too. So this is La Cienega, I think. Yep. And this is La Cienega. I'm going to top Sandstone with that. So these are all the ones that I'm popping in my compact. All right. Got my highlights, my bronzer, my contour. Here's 2 lip and cheek, just because that's what I'm going to use today. Of course, you don't have to do that. You don't have to have that many. And then this is an illuminator. Again, illuminator is one of those things that if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. I like to use it. I think it helps my eyes pop. I like a dewy look. This is a cream. We do have some powders. The powders are going to give you more shimmer and maybe a little bit more of a matte look. And these are going to give you more of a dewier finish, but you can powder them out if you would choose. Which brings me to our powder. I don't like to mix our creams and our powders together. As you can see, I kept my powders and my creams separate. And the reason I do that is because if you would break your eyeshadows, they're gonna go on your creams and you're gonna be really upset. You don't want that. But for the sake of this video, I am going to put my mineral or vanilla dust in here, okay? So this is everything I have for my face. I can do my entire face, and I'm going to, because I'm running out of daylight, I think. This time change here is jacking my videos up. So, all right, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna show you my color correcting. I may speed some of this up for you so you can, I'll talk through some of the process. So, brushes. I also suggest brushes. We have a lot of brushes for the face. And we have a couple for the eyes. Well, we have a lot for the eyes, I guess, too. So these are all of the eye brushes, but you can also use this one, which is the smudge brush. You can also use it for color correcting or whatever, depending on the size of your spots. The multitasker is another one you can use for color correcting, but here are all the ones that you will most likely use for your face, okay? In my color match response, I always suggest getting this brush. This is the blend brush. And the reason I do is because if you're like, I only want to buy one brush, this is the one I started with. You can do everything with it. So in this particular video, I'm going to show you how to do it with this, but I will probably show you some of the other brushes also because I use all of them. I use all of them almost every day. But, you know, if you're only getting one, then I'll show you. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of color corrector. I'm going like this on the smaller end of my brush. Again, here's all of my redness. So I want to cancel all of that out, and you'll watch it as it gets canceled as I put this on. I'm holding the very end of it. And I am just putting really tiny, tiny bit on it. Okay. If you have really deep redness, like you have rosacea, each day is going to be different, right? So you're going to have days where your redness is really deep. And occasionally I'll have to give you 2 color correctors if you have deep redness and light redness to get the coverage that you're going to want. So, okay. Got my cheeks color corrected. I have just a little bit on my chin, but I have some scarring down here. And if I would stick my main color right over that without any color corrector, I would show texture. Same thing with beside my nose right here. I would. So now underneath my eyes, I do have some blue here, and underneath my eyes, you could either leave, if you don't have like a lot of discoloration, you could kind of leave no makeup there if you wanted, or put your color corrector. If you're younger, you'll be putting your brightener there. I'm not younger, so I take my color corrector, and I like to use my finger because I get better coverage if I do that. I tend to, with the brush, I miss areas, and I just get better coverage with my finger. Just be gentle. Don't pull your eye skin much. And right there is overly red, so I just want to make sure I get that. Okay, so I got that on. The next thing I'm going to do is put on my main color. I'll still use this brush. I feel like this brush, though, I will tell you, it's a little bit more of a light to medium coverage because it's bendy, okay? I prefer to use this one. It's the blush bronzer brush. It's firmer, and I can push and tap it in, but let's show with this one, right? I'll show you on one side of my face. So down underneath where I color corrected, I can put this straight on and I can swirl it. And again, I'm only putting a tiny, tiny bit on. So see, there's a little bit of a flat side right there that you can put, well, I guess the whole thing's kind of like that. But I'm just putting a tiny bit, and I will press it in on top of the color corrector. And again, this is called my main shade, but by the time I'm done, I really have like it's a mixture, right? My main shade going over that color corrector. So it's kind of like my own little color. Okay, so that's looking good. I like it. Now I'm going to show you with the blush bronzer brush. I'm going to do the same thing. As you can see, I don't have, it's kind of hard to see. All right, I can go like this here. I'm not pressing hard. Now I'm just going to gently tap again over. Each time I dip, I'm like just a tiny, tiny bit. A little goes a long way. If you use your makeup up super fast, I've had people tell me, they're like, I'm using too much. I just went through my makeup like, you know, whatever. And I'm like, oh my gracious. Yes, you used too much. There are some ways of application out there where you put it on your fingers and tap it on your face so you kind of know where to put it. So that, which is kind of a really, it's a cool way to do it, to see placement and where it goes. The only issue with that is you do use too much makeup. So, but it just shows how blendable and it shows where you put it. Okay, so I'm good. I like how that's looking. I like how blended it is. Everything's flowing. I don't feel cakey. I feel like everything is good. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go with the same brush right here, and I'm gonna go into my bronzer. The bronzer, when you first get it, is soft. Mine is a little bit older, so it's not quite as soft, but you see how much I got on there? Now, bronzer, I'm not afraid of. It is, even though it looks so dark, it is very, oh, what do I want to say? It has like a little bit of a sheer. It doesn't have coverage. You're not going to put bronzer on and hide any textured areas, or not textured areas. You're not going to hide any redness or anything like that. It's not coverage. Okay, so I'll just do it with this one. I usually use my other brush, but I'll just keep doing with this. So be careful swirling because you can take your makeup off. Keep tapping it in. I just like putting it on the high points. So I'm putting on the high points of my cheeks, high points of my forehead. Sometimes I'll do the end of my nose, do a little bit on my chin. So it's almost like where the sun would hit me. The other brush that I really like for this is this brush, which is the 3D brush, or you can use the blush bronzer brush, which is actually what it was intended for. You can either like squeeze the end of this, you see where I put it on there, and then you can buff it around. I have a white neck right there, but I like my face warmed up. So, okay. All right, here we go. I'm warmed up. I think I'm good. All right. The next is contour. So contour, I feel like, will probably be one of your most challenging if you've never contoured, but it's a cream. Don't be afraid of it. It's so movable. Like, and our contours do give you coverage. So if you do have a lot of redness on your cheeks, usually your contour is more ashy. So it will give you coverage and cancel out that redness, which is really cool. But if you have trouble, take a pencil, take one of your brushes, anything like that, and feel under there. And we typically go from the top of our ear down to the corner of our mouth, okay, is the angle. But I stop at the corner of my eye, all right? So let's use that. I keep having to tell myself, keep using this brush. So I'm gonna go into my contour. I'm using a little bit darker contour, and it's a little softer than some of the other ones. And I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna kind of press and sweep, just because this brush is a little bit trickier. It's not my very favorite to do contour, but if you only have one brush, it works, right? So I like the darkest in the back, all right? And then I bring it forward, and it's going again down towards the corner of my mouth. Okay, right here, down towards the corner of my mouth. Forehead, along your hairline. I'm going to show you on the other side what I like, the other brush that I typically use, and underneath your jaw. You can also do your nose. I'll just do it with this brush. What's really good too is if you have like a red nose, which a lot of us do, this ashiness of this contour, that'll help do some canceling too. All right, so I don't usually use that color to contour my nose, but I did. Okay, so the brush that I like, my very favorite one, is this detail brush. It's flat, and you would think it's the weirdest thing to contour with, but I'll go in sideways like this. I pounce, and I get it just on this edge right here. And so that way I like to push it in. So it's almost like you draw that on, and then you just swipe it up. So it's really my favorite. So again, go down towards your mouth. And then I swipe it up into where I would be putting my blush, where I already have a little bit of bronzer. I'm gonna put it here. Guess I didn't blend in my other, I'll just do it with this brush. On your forehead, if your forehead's a longer forehead, you can bring it down further and then create that. I'll just do it for the sake of the video. So then you'll create a shadow that'll make it appear to be shorter, okay? Go like this, and when you go under here like I did on the other side, a lot of times I do just what's left on the brush. And because I'm not over applying, I'm not overdoing it on you, but see how like it's like my brush is not caked at all. I can go right from highlight to bronzer to contour and not have any problem at all. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna dab just a little bit off on there. We're gonna talk about this in a minute. Okay. The next thing we're gonna do is blush. And these, I love our blushes. We just had a new release of 5 and we've got some holiday stuff coming up. I'm gonna talk about that on Instagram because it's coming up so quickly that we don't know the colors that are going to be in it, but there's going to be a advent calendar of 12 and an advent color of 25. I don't know the colors that's going to be into it, except Ever Red is one that I don't even have. It's a gloss and it's a red that people love. That's going to be in both of them. Those are the for sures. And then in the 12, they're going to do a mixture of some of the new releases, and then probably, I think just some of the new releases and some of the existing. And then in the 25, they're going to do maybe all of them, I'm not sure. Some of these and some of the limited editions that they no longer have carried that people loved. And these are half size blushes. So they're like the size of the eyeshadow tin. And so it's going to be perfect for gifting, or if you're like me and you just love lip and cheek, you just want them for yourself. So, okay. So I'm going to put Sandstone and I'm going to top it with La Cienega. So I'm going to again take this blend brush and I'm going to put just a little on there. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put it right on that cheekbone and a little bit into my contour. Okay, then on the other side, I like to take, this is my brush that I mainly use for blush, and I'm going to use that one. That's the 3D. It picks up a little bit more product, so you do have to be careful. That's why I don't suggest it for the very beginning. Okay, so I like it high. Right here, you see where my cheekbone is? I like it high. I take a tiny bit down into my contour, and I stop again at the corner of my eye, and I might bring just a touch further in, okay? But again, you can use this brush. Be careful sweeping because you might take off your contour and you might take off your blush. So I'm going to top it with La Cienega. La Cienega is a gloss. She's so pretty. I tapped it on my lips. Isn't it pretty? And I'm just going to tap a little bit on each side. Now, our glosses will feel a little bit more tacky than our satins. But this La Cienega has this like gold shimmer in it. It's just so pretty. So pretty over the Sandstone especially. It's pretty by itself. It's pretty on the lips. It's just pretty. I'll show you. Can you see? Can't really see. Can't really see it, but it's trust me, it's really, really pretty. Okay, again, same brush. So I'm gonna go in with this blend brush and I'm gonna brighten. Again, if this was a step that you choose not to do, that's fine. Don't buy the brightener. I love to brighten because once I started brightening, my eyes really started to pop and it'll draw you in to the center of your face. Take this brush, if this is the blend brush, tap just a little bit of that brightener on there, come in to the corner of my eye, and I come down. I also like to clean up my eyeshadow, and then I marry the two. Okay, maybe a little tapping, maybe a little sweeping. Okay, same thing on the other side. I have a couple brushes that I like for this, but this one is just fine. Okay. Again, avoid any wrinkled areas because as we talked about, if your color is too light, you turn on my ring light. Let's hope this goes okay. If your color is too light, it will create texture. So you have to be careful with the brightener, not going on any wrinkled areas. The brightener also goes down the center of your nose. Okay. Center of your nose. I don't take it to the very end of my nose. And the reason I don't is because I have a bigger nose and I don't like to draw attention there. Up here on the hair and down on the chin. And then the very last thing that I like to do is powder. Remember that vanilla dust that's not supposed to be in here with the creams? I like to take, now I don't take the blend brush over top of it. And the reason I don't is because I don't like mixing any powders on my brushes that I use cream. So I'm gonna take this, and you can, for sure, I feel like a really great place to put your powder is where you brightened. But if you have oily areas, maybe this right here feels a little tacky because I put that gloss over top. Or if you just feel like a matte look, by all means, matte it out with the vanilla dust. I've tried other translucent powders, and this I've come back to has been my favorite so far. But try, don't use a lot. It's just, I'm using just, see how that's like the tiniest bit on there, okay? I'm oily. I use a tretinoin in the evening at bedtime when I wash my face. And ever since then, my face has been very, very oily. So I do powder. And then oftentimes I'll just take a little bit of that blush and just go over top. And then a little illuminator right on my cheek, right at the very tippy top of that blush. Okay, that's an extra thing you don't have to do. You can put it here on your Cupid's bow. This particular one is a perfume. It is amazing. It's number 4, and I love it so, so very much. And there we go. That's it. Okay, now, final step that I don't want you to underestimate, okay? If you like your makeup to look like the second skin, you like it for long, if I want the best longevity and the best look for what I'm looking for, I will use a slightly damp perfector sponge. This is one that I got as a gift that was from just a department store. They're not the same. They don't hold water the same. They're a little bit rougher material. And I do think this is meant to apply makeup, and this is meant to do what I'm gonna do next. So I'm gonna take this slightly damp, I took it under water, squeezed the water out really, really well, wrapped it in a towel, and got it just you can tell when it's only slightly damp. And then I press it in on my makeup, okay? Very, very slightly, no sweeping, only slight tapping, okay? This is where I have found, and I've only been doing this, I keep learning and keep learning and keep learning. I've only been doing this faithfully here the last little bit, and it is a game changer. So it is a game changer. Okay, I always get asked what I use on my lips. So I'm just gonna tell you, but I will put it in the description. I lined with Indigo Contour, and then I put on Desert Sunset, which is a gloss, which is kind of a sheer gloss, but it's a warm sheer gloss. And then I put that La Cienega that I put on my cheeks on top, and then I put our cream illuminator in the middle. I think you can use any of our cream illuminators. I'm losing daylight, but I hope that if you have any questions, if I've color matched you, if you've been color matched and you're having trouble with your makeup, reach out to me. If you're needing recolor matched, whatever it is, please reach out to me. Reach out to your artist if you are having trouble But if any of the things that I said, try them. Try them. If you're having texture, all the things. I also have a troubleshooting video here somewhere, and that can help too. So, all right. Thank you.